How does a player go from a promising All Blacks debut to virtually disappearing from the international scene? Josh Ioane's rugby journey is a compelling tale of rapid ascent, unexpected setbacks, and a determined resurgence. Once hailed as a rising star in New Zealand rugby, Ioane's career took an unforeseen turn that leads him away from the All Blacks spotlight. Now, as he carves out a new chapter in Ireland with kinetic rugby, his story offers insights into the challenges and resilience of professional athletes. Born in Auckland in 1995, Josh Ioane grew up with a rugby ball in hand. Of Samoan and Māori descent, he was immersed in a culture that valued both community and sport. His early years were marked by a strong sense of identity and a natural flair for rugby. At King's College, a prestigious Auckland school known for producing top-tier rugby talent, Ioane began to refine his game. He was a standout athlete, known for his quick feet, sharp rugby IQ, and confident leadership on the field. His ability to cover multiple positions in the backline made him a valuable asset. In 2015, he made a pivotal decision that hinted at the complexity of his international eligibility. Ioane represented Samoa at the under-20 level in the Rugby World Cup. His performances didn't go unnoticed. He was dynamic, decisive, and composed under pressure. This early international exposure added depth to his experience and put him firmly on the radar of New Zealand selectors. Soon after, he was picked up by Otago for the National Provincial Championship, the NPC, where he would begin to solidify his credentials as a rising star in New Zealand rugby. By 2018, Ioane earned his Super Rugby debut with the Highlanders. The franchise had just lost their long-term first 5'8", Lima Sopawanga, to an overseas contract, and the vacancy at number 10 was wide open. Ioane seized the opportunity with maturity and poise beyond his years. His breakout season came in 2019. That year, he was electric. Starting in most of the Highlanders games, he tailed 114 points and ranked among the top-tier scorers in the competition. His ability to control the game, attack the line, and kick accurately made him a fan favourite and a key part of the Highlanders' attack. His Super Rugby form could not be ignored. Later that year, he was selected for the All Blacks squad for the Rugby Championship. It was a meteoric rise and expectations were high. He was named on the bench for the test against Argentina but didn't get on the field, as the All Blacks leaned on experienced playmakers like Beauden Barrett and Richie Mo'unga. Still, Ioane remained in the squad, training among the best in the world and absorbing the environment. On September the 7th, 2019, he finally got his shot. In a test match against Tonga in Hamilton, Ioane made his All Blacks debut. He came off the bench and made an instant impact, scoring 8 points in the 92-7 demolition. It was a proud moment and seemed to signal the start of a long international career. However, that game would turn out to be his only appearance in the black jersey. Despite his promising debut, Ioane was not selected for the 2019 Rugby World Cup squad. The selectors opted for Barrett and Mo'unga as the only two first 5'8", leaving Ioane out in the fringes. The rationale was, while talented, he lacked the international experience to handle the pressure of a World Cup. It was a massive blow. From the outside, it looked like a conservative decision. But for Ioane, it marked a turning point. It was the beginning of a frustrating and confusing period in his career. Back at the Highlanders, competition for the number 10 jersey intensified. The arrival of Mitch Hunt from the Crusaders created a logjam at first 5'8". Rather than being given a consistent run in his preferred position, Ioane was often shifted to fullback or second 5'8". This positional rotation disrupted his development. Without a settled role, he found it difficult to maintain rhythm and confidence. Although still a talented player, he was no longer the focal point of the Highlanders' attack. Off the field, challenges also began to emerge. In 2021, Ioane was one of 6 Highlanders players stood down after breaching team protocols. The group was involved in multiple house parties that sparked complaints from neighbours and drew disciplinary action. It wasn't just a slap on the wrist, it was a reputational hit. Questions about professionalism, discipline, and commitment began to swirl. For a player already battling for consistent game time, the off-field drama only compounded the pressure. Looking to reset, Ioane made the move to the Chiefs for the 2022 Super Rugby Pacific season. It was a chance to start fresh, in a new environment and under new coaches. But again, opportunities were limited. Damian McKenzie returned from Japan and re-established himself as the franchise's primary playmaker. Ioane was largely relegated as a backup role. Despite making 29 appearances over the 3 seasons with the Chiefs, he struggled to nail down a starting spot. The inconsistency of game time and lack of positional certainty continued to affect his form and confidence. In July 2024, with the Super Rugby future uncertain and no clear pathway back to the All Blacks, Ioane made a bold and life-changing decision. He signed a 1-year deal with Kinetic Rugby in Ireland's United Rugby Championship, the URC. It was a fresh challenge, a chance to play regular first-team rugby and the opportunity to provide for his young family. He relocated to Galway with his wife, Eloise, and their daughter, Ari, who was 2 years old at the time. In January 2025, they welcomed their second child, a son named Abel. The transition to life in Ireland brought both opportunities and obstacles. On the field, Ioane made an immediate impact. In his debut for Kinetic against Munster, he scored a try and directed the game with confidence and precision. His attacking instincts and accurate passing added a new dimension to Kinetic's backline. His performances over the following months were consistently strong, and the club quickly moved to extend his contract through to 2027. Head coach Pete Wilkins was full of praise for Ioane, highlighting his skill set, versatility, and leadership qualities. Adapting to the Northern Hemisphere game required adjustments. The Irish weather, particularly in Galway, posed unique challenges, especially for a fly half reliant on tactical kicking. Ioane admitted to struggling early on with finding touch and managing field position in the swirling winds and wet conditions. But the coaching staff backed him to adapt, encouraging him to keep playing his natural game while refining technical aspects. Slowly but surely, Ioane adjusted his kicking mechanisms and decision-making to suit the environment. Off the field, Ioane found something he had been missing: stability. The Galway community embraced him as his family. The quieter pace of life, the strong family values, and the supportive culture at Kinetic helped him settle in a way he hadn't experienced in years. He felt grounded. In interviews, he often speaks about the importance of finding balance and being present with his family. Rugby remained important, but it no longer consumed him. This perspective allowed him to play with more freedom and less pressure. Ioane's rugby journey is a striking example of the rollercoaster nature of professional sport. From being hailed as the next great All Black to struggling for form, facing disciplinary issues, and falling off the national radar. He has endured setbacks that might have broken other players. But instead of giving up, he adapted. He made tough decisions, changed countries, and rebuilt his career from the ground up. It's a story not just about rugby, but about resilience, family, and the power of second chances. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into the untold stories of rugby's forgotten stars and rising talents, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!